It was a cold, moonless night in the small, forgotten town of Hollow Creek. The air was heavy with the scent of rain, and the streets were eerily quiet. In an old, creaky house at the edge of the woods, 4 friends gathered around a wooden table. Emma, Jake, Mia, and Ryan had decided to try the infamous Charlie game, drawn in by the whispers of its dark power. The setup was simple: a piece of paper divided into 4 quadrants, each labeled yes and no in diagonal pairs. 2 pencils balanced on top of each other in the center, forming a fragile cross. The legend was that this game would summon the spirit of a boy named Charlie, who would answer any question posed to him. The group had heard the warnings: never play alone, never forget to say goodbye, and never provoke Charlie. But they were teenagers, their curiosity outweighing their caution. "Are you guys sure about this?" Emma asked, her voice trembling slightly. She was the cautious one of the group, always second-guessing their adventures. "Come on, Emma," Jake said with a grin. "It's just a silly game. Nothing is going to happen." Mia, always the bold one, rolled her eyes. "Let us just start. We're wasting time." Ryan lit a single candle and placed it on the table. The flickering light cast dancing shadows on the walls, making the room feel smaller, more oppressive. Jake leaned forward, his voice low and mocking. "Charlie, Charlie, are you here?" For a moment, nothing happened. The group exchanged nervous glances, a mix of relief and disappointment. Then, slowly, the top pencil began to move. It wobbled, teetered, and finally settled on yes. Emma gasped, her hand flying to her mouth. "It's just gravity," she whispered, more to herself than anyone else. Jake's grin faltered, but he quickly recovered. "See, it's working. Let us ask another question." Mia, her eyes gleaming with excitement, leaned closer. "Charlie, what do you want?" The pencil didn't move right away. The silence stretched, thick and suffocating. Then it began to spin, shakily pointing to the edge of the paper where no answers were written. "That's weird," Ryan muttered. "Maybe we didn't set it up right." "No," Emma whispered. "He's trying to tell us something." Mia smirked. "Oh, come on. Don't get all dramatic. Charlie, do you want to hurt us?" The pencil stopped, paused, and then jerked violently toward yes. The candle's flame flickered wildly as if caught in an invisible wind. The temperature in the room plummeted, and the faint sound of whispering filled the air. It was distant at first, like a soft breeze through the trees, but it grew louder, more distinct. The whispers were not in any language they could recognize. "Okay, that's enough," Emma said, her voice shaking. "We need to stop this." Jake nodded, his bravado fading. "Yeah, let us just say goodbye and end it." "Charlie, can we leave?" Mia asked, ignoring their pleas. The pencil spun to no. Emma's eyes widened. "We have to say goodbye. Now." The group chanted together, "Goodbye, Charlie," but the pencil didn't move. The whispers grew louder, angrier. The candle's flame extinguished abruptly, plunging the room into darkness. Suddenly, the sound of scratching echoed from the walls, a sharp, grating noise that set their teeth on edge. Ryan fumbled for his phone, turning on the flashlight. The beam cut through the darkness, revealing deep claw marks gouged into the wooden walls. They hadn't been there before. "What the hell is going on?" Jake shouted, his voice cracking with fear. The shadows seemed to come alive, twisting and writhing as if something unseen was moving within them. The temperature continued to drop, and their breath came out in visible puffs. "We have to get out of here," Emma screamed. They scrambled for the door, but it wouldn't budge. The knob refused to turn, as if an invisible force held it shut. The whispers turned into guttural growls, and the scratching grew louder, closer. Mia's bravado finally broke. "I'm sorry. I'm sorry for provoking him. Please, let us go." As if in response, the pencils on the table flew into the air and crashed against the wall. The paper burst into flames, burning away in an instant without leaving any ash. The growling stopped, replaced by an eerie silence. The door creaked open on its own. Without a word, the group bolted from the house, running as fast as their legs could carry them. They didn't stop until they reached the main road, their hearts pounding in their chests. They never spoke of that night again, and none of them ever dared to play the Charlie game. But each of them carried the scars, not visible ones, but a lingering fear that stayed with them. Sometimes, in the dead of night, they would hear the faint whisper of their names, carried on the wind. And they knew Charlie wasn't done with them yet.